Hello there, my crypto big brothers and sisters. How in the world are you this morning? And I'm with Papa Ron and I'm Bulldog Rod, and we're here to entertain and enlighten and I better shut up and turn it over to Ron.
It's probably what it is more entertaining than enlightening. You're right. Folks, this might touch a little bit on what most people or a lot of people would consider a conspiracy theory, but we felt it's worth going over. IBM is partnering up.
Relate to crypto.
It's going to relate to crypto. You bet it is.
Okay.
Here's the article. IBM and Veridian to transform carbon credits into blockchain-based tokens. There's your crypto, Rod. Blockchain-based tokens, baby. Now, folks, I don't know if you know what carbon credits are.
I was just getting ready to ask that question, Ron.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have looked at this before. Matter of fact, I took occasionally I take college courses at the local college we have here in our valley.
It's a little. You're getting smart, Ron.
No, I'm just releasing boredom is all I'm doing. But I'm telling you, it is fun to go and sit with all those young kids in those classes, and they kind of.
How stupid they are.
Well, how brainwashed they all are. I mean,
that's the
exactly
that's
right.
The word I was looking for. Brainwashed. Yeah. And none of them are stupid. They're brighter than heck.
Oh, that's right. They're sharp, but they eat this stuff up that we continually feed them through our educational programs. But they do respect my opinion, probably because of my age. But anyway, I wrote a whole paper. I had to write a paper in class, and I did it on global warming and these carbon credits and this and that. But anyway, a carbon credit basically is a certificate that you're awarded or given based on how much CO2 you burn up or get rid of. So if you're a company or a government and you're proactive in reducing your carbon footprint on society and you get rid of CO2 and this and that, they'll award you these credits. Well, these credits can be sold and traded, I guess, and some of this stuff. So even people, they claim, have a carbon footprint, Rod, depending on how much, your car is polluting the air and your oxygen, how much you breathe and put that out in. So we all have a carbon footprint, they say.
Hey,
and so
how do you join those carbon credits?
I think, well, there's probably a website you go and apply for them, and then you got to prove it. I don't know about individuals at this point. And this report I did was years ago, but so anyway, IBM, there's this Veridian, they want to create a token where these carbon credits can be traded on this site and sold and bought and so on the blockchain. And
so this is mainly for the whalers?
No. My point
I mean
is
the carbon credit.
Oh yes, generally for governments, big companies like General Motors and stuff that produce a lot of pollutants into the air. Based on their size and capacity of their company, they're only allowed to emit so much. So they got to continually get rid of this by, putting filters and this and that, and they're awarded credits the more good they do. And then these credits allow them to burn even more. Kind of not a catch-22, but the funny thing about it is United States is about the only one, of course, that funds everything, and they're the ones that are really focused on this. And China, which burns up or has so much more pollutants, they're not even worried about it. I mean, they're not participating in this so-called global enterprise of getting rid of your carbon footprint. So Veridian, they're trying to create a platform on the blockchain where these credits can be traded and sold and purchased and so on. So hence the title. And now we're going to get into the globalist part. Globalist ideas, which this carbon footprint is now getting into the blockchain by means of IBM. IBM has a blockchain that this Veridian is going to partner up with and write on IBM's blockchain to accomplish this. So, and this is the not hypocrisy, but this is what's being debated. If we really do have a carbon footprint, which we do, but is it that, is global warming really happening? I mean, Al Gore, really pushes that. Former vice president in our country under Bill Clinton, I believe.
Yeah, he was.
And
he's the one that invented the internet,
Yeah, he claims. He's also the one that I think's invented this carbon footprint mess. And folks, I'm not saying that we don't have problems in the world. I mean, I really do believe that we have messed up our stewardship of what's gone on here. And there definitely is problems, and there's things that we can do to change. I agree with that. So I'm not debating is global warming real or not. I'm debating that it's as bad as they say it is, and it's just more control on the people. So anyway, if you get to Al Gore, I just think if you follow the money, have you ever heard of that term, Rod? Follow the money and you'll really find out what's going on. Yeah. All these carbon footprint companies and the ones that give out these certificates and all the things that are going to help us correct the problem, Al Gore is heavily invested into these companies. So, of course, it's to his benefit to push this stuff because he's going to reap rewards on it. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact,
so he's the one really pushing this.
He's always been the big global warming mouthpiece, and we need to get it control. He actually prophesied that we would be icing over because of the problems we're having. Anyway, I don't want to get into the whole global warming thing, but let's get back to this article real quick.
Okay.
IBM and Veridian, because there is some positive stuff here that I want to talk about. IBM and Veridian to transfer carbon credits into the blockchain-based tokens. Well, right down here, it talks about a recent report produced by the IBM Institute for Business Value titled, now this is a report that was produced by IBM, it's titled, Moving to a Token-Driven Economy. Folks, this substantiates what we've been saying all along on our channel, that we are moving towards being tokenized. And even IBM has done reports on moving towards this token economy. Matter of fact, if you click on that highlight, there's actually a whole website called Moving to a Token-Driven Economy.
Oh my gosh, look at there.
Remember, we reported not long ago about even automobiles in the future. They're even putting them in now. They're putting wallets within these new automobiles.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, because things are becoming tokenized. And within these automobile wallets, it'll pay any toll bridges that you have to go through or things, and it'll probably pay for your insurance when it comes due, your registration, if you get a ticket or cited. So everything is headed towards this new way of finances. Kind of interesting. There's a lot more to that article. I wanted to go over some more, but I'm already getting long-winded on this, so let me move on to the...
Sorry, I keep getting you off track.
No, you're not. No, you're good. You're good.
Well, I know I am, but I mean, I hate to get you off track.
I just get long-winded and then forget half of what I want to say. It's a nightmare, I'm telling you. So I want to go down this rabbit hole a little bit more about this carbon footprint and all. The positive thing is that they do believe also, folks, that we are moving towards a token society. which hence could be end up cashless. We hope not, because at that point they gain all control over us. I don't want to delve down that road either, but here's an article here talking about Al Gore and following the money, and it says here that Al Gore's climate change hypocrisy is as big as his energy sucking home. No, matter of fact, they've called him on the carpet on this stuff, and this is a pretty interesting article too. It says here, in 1 month last year, the report found Gore's home consumed more electricity than the average family uses in 34 months.
Oh my heck.
It says his swimming pool uses enough electricity to power 6 homes for a year. Just to heat his pool. Anyway, he got called on this, so it says right here, after this, and this is after Gore spent tens of thousands of dollars installing green upgrades, which he was embarrassed into doing when his energy hogging home first came to light a decade ago. So he put all this money to make his home more green, and anyway, it ended up using as much, if not more, energy than it did previously. But yet he flies around these jet set planes all over and gives these talks on global warming and all, and those planes he's flying around just, anyway, it's just exactly opposite of what he's preaching.
He's always been that way.
So I want to put this a little bit into perspective, Rod.
Okay.
If we gathered all the people in the whole entire world, which is about 7.2 billion,
okay,
that wouldn't even fill up the Grand Canyon. All the people. And yet we're the ones that are putting all this global warming in. Now think about that.
Wait. If we put the 7.2 billion people that are in the world,
yep,
it wouldn't even fill up the Grand Canyon.
That's what this article's talking about. I've read it in 2 or 3 places. Can you see the image I have up?
Yeah, I have it.
Just kind of giving you a perspective there. Matter of fact, it gives a... here's that dot right here. You see it?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's the Grand
Canyon. And then you
Canyon.
have the rest of the world.
That is the world's population. 7.2
well, I know.
billion.
But I mean, you have the rest of the world free.
Oh yeah, free. Yeah, you're right. So this kind of puts it in perspective, and you're telling me that pile of people in the whole world is making all this. Of course, I know we have automobiles and planes. I get all that, and I do think that we are making some impact. Like I said, we haven't been good stewards. But yet, if you think about that, it's not just humanity that is doing this. And folks, this is something you really got to go study yourself. And if you got onto, I don't know,
all the volcanoes.
Yeah, have you been reading about that?
I know the one.
I think on the west, and I might be wrong, but I thought I just read on the west coast of the United States, there's over 100 there. 20% of them are pretty active right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of crazy.
It
now, folks,
is.
I'm not trying to get way down the rabbit hole, but those of you that haven't looked into chemtrails, now there's a difference between a chemtrail and a contrail. A contrail is generally the thing that comes out of the back of an airplane and it evaporates very quickly. A chemtrail is what's been going on anymore, and these planes, and we see them all the time above Utah. Rod, you've noticed them, haven't you?
Yeah, I've noticed them.
And they generally put them out in these grid patterns, and they actually fan out. But what the government is trying to do here that I've looked into is that they're trying to they think that the Earth's warming up, and they're trying to deflect those sun rays by putting this cover out there, and there's some aluminum and things in there that reflect the sunlight and those UVH rays, or whatever they're called, UV rays, Rod?
Yeah. I think I don't.
And I just had the name of this on the tip of my tongue. Geoengineering. There is a ton of stuff out on there, and they're actually doing more harm than good. Matter of fact, they're saying there's a up to 70% of all insects have been killed off because of these geoengineering, these chemtrails they're putting out there. It's interesting reading. Folks, so the title of this, obviously, the title of this was Globalist Ideas Are Getting Onto the Blockchain. IBM has partnered up with this Veridian on these carbon credits and all. Didn't want to get too far into this stuff, but it just shows you that the blockchain is being huge on everything. And they're going to start tokenizing this stuff, and which could be positive, but yet there could be a lot of negative to it too, depending on who's tokenizing what and what they make us use. We made the comment the other day, Rod, that as this thing progresses and the IMF, International Monetary Fund, or even the United States federal government come up with their own coins, and then all of a sudden outlaw Bitcoin and all these because of some weird thing they think of, puts us into a cashless society and actually puts us at the mercy again of bankers and governments controlling it all.
Yeah. It's probably outlawed because it used the excuse, well, it's used by the mafia and the mobs and the cartels.
Yeah, and they could come up with a couple false flags to prove that point, and and we need to centralize it and make one world economically used by everybody. And here the IMF, what was the name of theirs, Rod? It was crypto dollar or something like that, or anyway.
Fed coin.
Fed coin is United States, and the IMF's calling theirs anyway.
Yeah,
something
I can't remember either.
Well, folks, thanks for watching. We know it's a weekend. We just wanted to bring that up, that everybody's looking at blockchain and tokenization, baby. It's coming.
That's right. Oh yeah, we predicted that for a year now, that it's going to be the next coin, or the next way of doing business. And I think it would be good if it was decentralized. But anytime you get the government involved in anything, they screw it all up. Anyway.
Rod meant to say decentralized, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I meant decentralized. Heck, I can't think anymore. It seems like I'm getting worse and worse for some reason.
I am taking applications for new partners, folks.
You need to. Hey, appreciate all your comments. And I appreciate how many of the I shouldn't say more. I know our people that watch us, see, I'm getting all screwed up. We appreciate everybody who has signed up with us and really helping us out. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys following us, even though we're just a couple of old Joe Blows that just. But we look at this stuff and we see it and we want to share it with you. And we appreciate all of you young fellas, because most of our audiences are millennials or young fellas. But we do, and we seem like we're getting more and more comments from the older generation, like our age. Well, not my age, but Ron's age. And still a young whippersnapper. We appreciate all you guys coming online and telling us how much you like our show, and we can't tell you how much we like it. We feel really blessed with it. And give us a thumbs up, and God bless you.